Hello friends, it's Tori, and today I'm back with my Books to Books TBR. It has been several months since I did this just because I was in a reading slump, and with the holidays things were just crazy. But I feel ready to do it again, so we're going to get right into this. I do want to mention a few things going on. So when I switch over to my clip of doing the rounds, you will see that I have put out a few books already. This is because I am hosting two read-alongs, first one for Vanity Fair and the other for Wolf Hall, and both of those I wanted to include in my cards for this just to make things easier on me if possible. I also want to at least sort of be part of the Feb Regency readathon that's going on, that's hosted by Jennifer Brooks, Christy Lewis at Dostoevsky in Space, and I think one other person. I will link Jennifer's announcement video down below, and she will have links to the other channels as well. And that readathon is basically like how it sounds. It's about reading books that were published during the Regency. I think they expand the time frame a little bit, so I think it's 1785 through, I can't even remember where it ends. But anyway, like I said, I'll link the announcement video down below so you can kind of see what the years are and stuff if you want to participate. So I have a couple of books that I can read for that I have included in the pile as well. And then I also decided to take part in the BookTube Spin hosted by Rick McDonnell, which I will link down below, the most recent one. Basically, it's a challenge where you pick 20 books and list them 1 through 20, and then Rick ends up spinning a wheel at one point during the month, and whatever number it lands on, that's the book you read. And he started doing 2, so I have 2 from this most recent spin that I wanted to include on there as well. So there's 6 books you'll see already out, and I'll go through them. Because February is such a short month and I'm already participating in all of those things, I really wanted to keep things simple as possible and not overwhelm myself. So I also, in the piles, limited them to shorter books, slightly shorter to medium length books, so you won't see any humongous books show up on there, just because I am finishing Vanity Fair and Wolf Hall, both of which are really long, and then both of the books I have for Feb Regency are also pretty long, plus I have some other potential plans. So anyway, I tried to be as kind to myself as possible in this while still keeping it a little bit more up in the air. So anyway, let's get right into the rules now. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have a few read-alongs, readathons, reading challenges that I'm participating in. So we have Wolf Hall and Vanity Fair, which are read-alongs that I am hosting, and I should be halfway done with them by the end of January, so I'll just be reading half of them, but I did want to include them because I do have so many read-alongs and stuff going on, and I didn't want to overwhelm myself. So there's that. For the BookTube Spin, my 2 answers were Once Upon a River and Cranford, so I have both of those. I do not need to read them both in the month of February, but if I can get to at least one, that would be great. Then for Feb Regency, I have The Mysteries of Udolpho and Waverley. These are the only 2 I have that fit into that era, so I will definitely want to get to at least one of them within February for that readathon. And then, since I usually go for 8, I will choose 1 classic and 1 non-classic to add at the bottom, so that we have my nice round 8 cards. So we have A Passage to India, which is a good one, and then we have My Dark Vanessa, which is another one that I have looked forward to reading for quite a while. So happy with all of those, and we're going to choose the prompt. Okay, so the first prompt is lowest rated. So for this, I need to go through each of these books on Goodreads and see which one is the lowest rated as far as average rating goes. And the winner is The Mysteries of Udolpho. It was between this and Waverley, but Waverley is slightly higher. So The Mysteries of Udolpho is what will be read, and therefore what will be read for Feb Regency. Okay, so the first one is for Feb Regency. I will be reading Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. I'm actually really excited about this because I feel like it will be nice to have some sort of gothic story to read during the month on top of everything else I'm reading. I just feel like it will be different enough, but still be able to accomplish some of my goals. This is also one I've had for a very long time, so it will be kind of nice to get it off my TBR, to be honest. It is, however, very chunky, and like I mentioned, I am reading Vanity Fair and Wolf Hall. I will be halfway done with both of those, but they're still gonna take some time, so I may frankly not finish this in the month of February, but we will read as much as possible. I'll probably actually separated out so that I read just a few pages a day throughout the month, and hopefully that will make it feel more doable, but we'll see, because I'm also doing that with Vanity Fair, so not totally sure how well it will go, but we'll try to get as much of this done as possible. So to keep things balanced, I'm going to replace that with a non-classic. So we have 4 classics and 4 non-classics, and my non-classic is The Golden Compass, which is the first in the His Dark Materials series, which I've never read, but I've really wanted to, so that will be a nice light read to pick up. I also actually think I'm going to replace Waverly, since I already have a Feb Regency choice. I am going to replace that one, Thérèse Raquin, which is a French classic that I'm really intrigued by, so very nice as well. And our second pick is Dying to Read. So any of these that I'm dying to read, frankly, I probably could say any of them. Like, I feel like, especially, I think the ones I'm most thinking about are Wolf Hall, because that's one I've wanted to read for a very long time. Cranford, because that's another one I've had on my radar for quite a while, and My Dark Vanessa are probably the 3 I'm most excited about. I think I'm going to put Cranford as this one just because I really want to make sure I get one of those 2 on this list. And yeah, I am dying to read it, so we will do Cranford for that. Okay, then we have Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is one that I have really been looking forward to. Like I said, it's one from the BookTube Spin. It's not very long, so that will be good. I'm a little concerned because I feel like my month's getting filled up with classics, which isn't bad, but classics tend to take a little bit more out of me. Although Vanity Fair hasn't been too horrible, so hopefully I'll be able to find a groove with my classics reading and won't end up getting burnt out by it. But anyway, I am excited to read this. It's not terribly long. I think it will be a nice, sweet one to read sometime in the month. And yeah, I don't know much about this beyond that. It's kind of more like each chapter is like a vignette from this town called Cranford that's mostly run by women. And I've heard it's super sweet and funny and hilarious, and I really have needed to read a Gaskell novel because that's part of my goal, is to read a certain amount of, or certain types of Victorian literature before Victober. I will link my video on that down below if you're curious about that, but reading a book by Elizabeth Gaskell was on that list, so this will be very good to be able to get to cross that off of my goals list for the year. Okay, and then replacing that, we'll grab another classic, and it's the Do What You Want cards. So the nice thing about this, for those of you who haven't seen this before, is if I ever get one of these cards, it means I don't need to pick a prompt or anything. I can just do whatever I want, and I just can ignore this last round. So for Do What You Want, I'm probably going to do a Shakespeare play, but I'm not sure which one yet, so you will see that in the next clip. Before I get into my Do What You Want, I apologize about my voice going out. I'm not sick. I'm talking more than usual today, and it's just impacting my throat, I guess. I'm talking more and louder than I usually do. I've filmed a couple of videos already, so anyway, that's why I'm not sick. But anyway, let's move on. For Do What You Want, I know I kind of said that I might do a Shakespeare, but because February is so short and I'm already feeling a little stressed about the amount of pages I'm going to be needing to read, I'm just going to say Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel is going to be my Do What You Want pick. I will need to finish this. I will have read half of it by then. Right now I am partway through January and I have only read about half of what I need to read, so I'm doing well. But anyway, that's besides the point. I will have finished half of it by the end of January, so I'll just be reading half of it in February. Very doable with the other couple of reads I have going, but yeah, I decided to not overwhelm myself too much. Plus, I'm already planning to buddy read a Shakespeare play with David Wiley in March, so I don't feel like I necessarily have to get to a Shakespeare play in February. I just kind of thought about it, but yeah, I think this will just relieve a bit of stress, so we're going to do just Wolf Hall for that prompt. Then getting into a couple others I will be working on, of course, we have Vanity Fair by William Thackeray. I will be finishing this as well, and I should be halfway into it by then. But I'm really excited to finish this. I have really enjoyed it so far. When I'm filming this, I am a little over a fourth of the way through, so doing pretty well, and I'm really liking it. Like, it's been so easy for me to get through every day. I've been reading about 17 pages per day. However, there have been several days I've read even more because I just get so sucked in and I'm like, well, may as well finish the chapter, and it's been a delight so far. So definitely excited to continue with this. And then one other book I forgot to grab, but I'll just mention really quick, is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Now this is one I'll probably listen to on audiobook. I started it back towards the end of October and then put a pause on it for a while. I had only gotten like a little over 100 pages into it and put it on hold, and with all the big books that I'm reading, I just feel like I won't be able to get to it physically for a long time, so I figured may as well just listen to it on audiobook. I don't know if I'll necessarily finish it in the month of February. As of filming this, I have one book I'm currently listening to on audiobook that I should finish in the next week or so, probably less. And then I have another audiobook that my roommate recently listened to and loved, and I really want to be able to talk to her about it, so I'm going to be reading that after I finish the one I'm currently working on, the audiobook I'm currently working on. But then after that, I'll probably start David Copperfield. I may need to take a break from David Copperfield at one point because I'll need to listen to Mansfield Park for an in-person, in real life book club that I'm hosting, so it may take me a while to get through David Copperfield still, but I at least want to make progress on it in February, and then I may start Mansfield Park in February as an audiobook as well. So I'll just briefly mention those plans. But as far as physically reading, we have all of these, and I think I'm going to start doing a little bit of a calculation of page count, just because it's always interesting to me when people talk about the amount of pages they need to read for the month. So let me get my computer and calculate this out because I haven't already. So that is a page count of 1,591 pages. I don't know what my usual is for a month. I feel like that's probably more than I usually read in a month. But this is not even including the TBR Tackle-a-thon book that I'm going to have to read, which I don't even know what that's going to be. So, could be an interesting month. Will I finish everything? I'm going to be honest, probably not, but we're going to really try. We're gonna work hard to really try. I will definitely get the Vanity Fair and Wolf Hall. Oh my gosh, I am losing it already, and it's not even the end of January. But yes, we'll for sure get these two done. I'm going to for sure at least start both of these. I'm hoping I can at least finish Cranford and at least get a good way through the Mysteries of Udolpho, and then hopefully I'll be able to read my TBR Tackle-a-thon pick as well. But we'll see, because I'm genuinely not sure, because I'm still gonna be in work and school. So anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you've read any of these, your thoughts on them, and your thoughts on anything I said, as I would love to know, and I will talk to you next time.